Perfectionism, who hasn't had trouble with it? It's just such a common trap. We don't get started because we want it to be perfect whenever we're doing something and it doesn't look like how we want. It is so tough to keep going. So that is why today I'm making this video to break free of perfectionism and its many traps using my technique, True Unity. You can simply follow along the steps and listen to me, or if you want to know more of this technique, check out True Unity Explained. So perfectionism, I don't know anybody who hadn't fallen into its trap. It is so tempting and tantalizing to want to have the best results and then think that you need perfectionism to get there. But that is not what happens. Perfectionism actually holds us back because we are not willing to get feedback from other people, we're not willing to share our work, we're not willing to try or learn, we just need it to be perfect. So yeah, if you recognize that, you will recognize the strain that brings and how hard it is to create a positive, creative flow that you actually need to enjoy what you're doing. So for today, the first thing to do is to step into authenticity. I step into my authenticity. And if you're really much of a perfectionist, this is really hard to do. You might notice blockages in the throat area, you might notice blockages in the head area, you might notice the chest, because people want to be perfect instead of being authentic. But any art you've seen, any projects we've seen, you notice that we as human beings respond to authenticity, to the realness, to people actually showing their passion, showing their work, and not something that just looks perfect. So we really need this authenticity to be in a beautiful creative flow. So keep on breathing in and out. And just embrace your authenticity. I embrace my authenticity. And you should notice that you're feeling more relaxed, you're feeling better, and you have a better sense of what you want to accomplish and how to enjoy it. And the second step is to give yourself permission to just learn and try and experiment. I give myself permission to learn, try, and experiment. And if you're really much of a perfectionist, like I sometimes am, you can find some real big frustration in the jaw area because you don't want to learn, you just want to be perfect at it. You don't want to experiment, you want to have it done efficiently, and you don't want to enjoy the process. But that is vital if you want a good creative flow to have those things. Just breathe in and out. And embrace the trying, the learning, the experimenting, and just tell yourself that that process is the same for any human being. All of us need to do that before we have a concrete example or something done that we feel satisfied about. Almost nobody does something right the first try. It can happen if you're lucky, but most of the time this process is the same. If you hear a master piano player, they have practiced for hours. If you see something beautiful in art, they've done it as well for hours, practicing their techniques. So just breathing in and out and allowing yourself to appreciate the process and to understand that that is part of the human experience. And perfectionism is not. And then the final step on letting go of perfectionism is to understand that it doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. And it doesn't have to be perfect to be valuable. It doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. So just give yourself permission to say, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be perfect. And this should give you a lot of calm. If you still feel something, you can of course do the steps again, or give yourself permission to not do something perfectly, to not finish something perfectly, to not need a perfect product, a perfect presentation, until all these ideas of perfectionism are just released. And you can just enjoy the process, enjoy who you are, and enjoy a good creative flow.